if one of America's least visible first ladies is quietly building one of the most policy-focused legacies of the Trump presidency? Melania Trump is making a rare public appearance today, but this time, the headline isn't fashion, politics, or the White House spotlight. It's about foster youth, college scholarships, and a partnership that brings IndyCar into the effort. Melania Trump is teaming up with IndyCar and Fox Corporation to expand scholarship opportunities for young adults transitioning out of foster care. The announcement is taking place at the White House Rose Garden alongside President Donald Trump, just days before the Freedom 250 Grand Prix in Washington, D.C. And the choice of IndyCar is especially personal for Melania, who grew up in Slovenia attending Formula One races with her father. But here's what makes this story bigger than a one-day White House event. Melania Trump has spent much of her husband's second term far away from the kind of constant public visibility that Americans usually associate with the First Lady. She skipped several high-profile events and has spent significant time at the Trump family's Bedminster property in New Jersey. Yet behind the scenes, her office has been concentrating heavily on one issue: what happens to young people when they leave the foster care system? That focus is now called Fostering the Future, and it has grown substantially beyond the scholarship work Melania began several years ago. In November 2025, President Trump signed an executive order launching the initiative and directing federal agencies to work with private companies, nonprofits, and universities to create more educational, employment and mentorship opportunities for young people transitioning out of foster care. And there have been some significant developments since then. In June, Melania Trump launched Fostering the Future accounts in partnership with the Treasury Department, giving eligible foster youth a pathway to savings and investment accounts designed to help them build financial assets as they enter adulthood. The White House says 23 governors had already pledged to establish the accounts in their states. Then there's housing, another enormous challenge for young people leaving foster care. HUD says $30 million was secured for foster youth housing in the 2026 budget, and the department reported that more than 1,700 young people had received support through its Foster Youth to Independence program since President Trump took office. HUD also says more than 20,000 young people transition out of foster care every year, with housing instability remaining a serious concern. Think about the scale of the problem for a moment. The U.S. Department of Education estimates that roughly 400,000 children and youth are in foster care at any given time. For many of them, turning 18 doesn't simply mean becoming an adult. It can mean suddenly having to figure out housing, education, transportation, employment, and finances without the family safety net that many other young adults rely on. That's why today's scholarship announcement matters. According to reporting on the new partnership, IndyCar is joining the Trump administration along with Indiana University, Purdue University, and other participating schools. The scholarships are described as merit-based and open to foster children, with the money going directly toward the scholarship fund rather than administrative or marketing expenses, according to Melania Trump's senior advisor Mark Beckman. But there is another side to this story, and it's where the politics become complicated. Child welfare advocates have generally welcomed the attention Melania Trump is bringing to foster youth, while some have questioned whether other policies coming from the Trump administration could work against those goals. Advocates have pointed to changes involving the social safety net and LGBTQ rights, arguing that broader policy decisions could affect vulnerable families and potentially increase pressure on the foster care system. That tension highlights a difficult reality: helping young people already in foster care is only one piece of the puzzle. Preventing children from entering the system unnecessarily, keeping families safely together when possible, and making sure young adults aren't left without support after aging out are all connected. Melania Trump's office has also been working with Congress on legislation addressing housing, education, and job training, although parts of that broader legislative effort remain stalled. And perhaps the most interesting part is what this says about Melania Trump's role as First Lady. During her husband's first term, her Be Best initiative covered several areas involving children and well-being, but it never developed the same policy machinery now surrounding fostering the future. This time, her team is smaller, but it includes people with government and policy experience, and administration officials say the First Lady's office is actively pushing federal agencies to take concrete steps for foster youth. So while Melania Trump may not be appearing at every major White House event, she appears to be betting that a First Lady doesn't have to be everywhere to leave a mark. Her strategy is much quieter: fewer appearances, more targeted policy work, and partnerships designed to keep operating beyond a single presidential term. Whether that approach ultimately becomes a lasting legacy will depend on something far more important than today's headlines. It will depend on whether the scholarships, housing programs, savings accounts, and policy changes actually give young people leaving foster care a stronger chance to build independent lives. And that may be the real test of Melania Trump's Fostering the Future initiative. Not how often we see the First Lady, but how many young Americans see a different future because of the work she's doing. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Prime Wire, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest news. Thanks for watching.